Hi everybody, how are you doing out there? I hope you're doing well. I'm in the back gardens, as you can see, but I just wanted to pop in and just say hi. And I hope you're all well, and we're going to flip the camera around and we'll get to see what's going on in the back gardens. You ready? Here we go. Oh, there goes Molly, looking for a lizard. This corner is finished, and I'm so pleased with this corner. So I built the raspberry trellis back here. Kind of hard to see because the tree's getting so big, but here it is. I'm real pleased with the trellis. It's really good for the raspberry bushes. They still have a couple of little berries, but they're not producing a whole lot. But it's the first year that it would be a producing year, so I'm pleased with how it's looking now. I'm very happy with the end result here. I started out with 3 tiny aspen trees and a couple of trees here. I will post the picture of what I started with and where it's at now on Instagram and Facebook later. But this little corner has a story. I wanted it to have this little nook feel, little English, British feel, and the reason is it reminds me of a very precious memory. When my husband and I were first married, we lived in Florida and we used to go to Epcot Center all the time. And at the end of the day, after the fireworks is done, everybody will rush off to their cars, and while they're doing that, Disney plays some beautiful music as you leave. But we would duck into the British courtyard because in the back there's this little garden, and it has little benches and cute little lights, and it has a gazebo, and we'd just go back there while people were rushing to their cars, dance in the gazebo. Oh, Molly says somebody's here. And sometimes it would be raining, so it's just a very sweet memory for me. So that's what influenced this corner, really, was to have just a little bit of that feeling in it. Let's go over here. Oh, let's take a look. I want you to see these roses. Aren't they looking great? So big. The plantain, I've got all the seed pods off yesterday, and then there's more already today. So that's just how plantain is. You gotta get them faster, they spread fast. And back here, underneath this post, we've got a rose growing quite nicely, looking good. And the muscadine that I put in is established and healthy and doing great. I'm really, really happy with that. And I just got the other muscadine in a few days ago. I let it acclimate, and then I put it in the pot yesterday, and it looks really good. It's not in shock or anything. It's looking really good. The sunflowers are looking fantastic back here. And down there in the bottom, we've got some squash and cucumber, I think, growing. We'll see once it's fruited. Look at that juniper tree. Oh, it's looking fantastic. The lavender is looking great. I need to come and start cutting some of them off, drying more. The raspberry bush looks pretty good. Oh, there's some berries on it right there. Gonna have to come back and nab them. Yay. The Jacobian's looking really good. And even the potatoes are pretty. Look at that. Little white flowers. So they're flowering now, which is great. And then I have more growing back there at a different stage, which is kind of good because then I'll just collect potatoes now and then later. And this rose needs to be deadheaded. It produces roses like crazy. It does really well, although I don't see any new from where I deadheaded yet. So we'll just see. Oh wait, there's one over there. There's a new bud there. So I'll be deadheading some more on that one. The hollyhock is very heavy, this year. Well, I finished that fence standing back there. I need to add a few more pickets, but I decided to wait because it's really hot out. Our tree is looking really good. Okay, so now I can't hide the new thing from you anymore. So we're gonna walk over here this way and you're gonna see the new thing. And there it is. I just would like to say, if you're wondering where I'm at, that's where I'll be for the rest of the summer. I don't know why I didn't put that in first. Well, if I had, I don't think we would have anything done because I'd just be in there when it's hot. So that's just for this year. I found a really good deal on it on eBay, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna grab it because I get so hot. Like right now it's 98 out, even the wind is hot. And next year I hope to put a deck across there and maybe a stock tank pool with the salt water. We're not using any chlorine in it because we can't, but we're using something else. I can't remember what it's called. So far it's working. And I built a deck over the cement. It's not quite finished. It's got to be stained or sealed. My husband came home while I was working on this and he started laughing and he was like, that's the video you should do. How to build a whole house out of tree stakes, picket fencing, and 1x2s. Because this is made out of 1x2s. And it's just laid on top of the cement because it doesn't need to be anchored down. It's heavy. And I have a little more work to do back here. Got to clean up. The cement itself is not straight. So I'm going to use some pavers to fool the eye. Let's come up here and look at, we're going to be, let's see, the ground is looking bad. I'm going to be putting clover seed in there. But our food stuffs are doing really well. We got the peppers, peas. This is a melon, and it's really flowering nicely. So I'm excited about that. The peas did not produce very well, but they are still growing. So I'm just leaving them alone because who knows? And there's more peas over there. The strawberries, I thought I had everbearing, but they are not. They're done. They're not reflowering. So I think I'm going to take out this bed and replace it with, for sure, everbearing. But because this side is sunk down and it needs rebuilt up anyway, I'm going to leave these because I think maybe next year we'll have a big harvest from them. We had a light harvest this year, but you can see the melon is growing over here. Oh, we've got some food on here. I'll take them off. So what I'm doing, because these are really small patches, I don't have a whole lot of them, so I just take them off as they mature here and stick them in a little bag in the freezer, and then hopefully I'll end up with, you know, something later. But if just a couple at a time doesn't bring us much food. But we've got jalapeno on there. That looks good. And we have so many cherry tomatoes are like crazy. Everywhere you look, there are cherry tomatoes. The bigger tomatoes aren't producing as fast, but we have some coming in, and we have our first red one. So that's exciting. We've got a lot going on. I hope that it'll produce really well. Last year we did, but I had to start late this year, so we'll just see. And we've got some down here. Let's see, let me see them in there. And then back there, more cherry tomatoes. And the corn is getting tall, and we have a few. We've got some signs of corn. Where are you at? you see it? Where is it? Oh, here it is, right here. There it is. Okay, there's the corn starting. So that's really good. Over here, I've got my little light, my little lamp post up. I'm gonna put a table and chairs back here, and I think a shelf unit here for potted plants. And the apple tree, looking really good. It didn't do great last year, but when I put the hay around it, it did fantastic. So I'm gonna be looking for more hay soon because I'll be moving it in back here. And I've got a potato plant here, but it's not doing fantastic, so we'll see. And the poor little peach tree, no peaches. It's got some yellow on it, and I don't know if I just was underwatering it, so I'm watering it better now, and hopefully it'll cheer up. I think it's cheered up there. We just still have some little bit of yellow leaving. Anyhow, so there you go. That's Molly. She knows where the shade is. She's smart. That's the circle. Now let's come down here and look at the porch. It's almost cleaned up. We're almost done with big projects. I love the chairs there. Really, it's so nice to sit there in the shade. I love that. Over here, I repainted part of the barn, the shed. I like the red so much better now that the house is white. The red on the shed makes so much sense. I will be moving this couch. I think I'll be putting it in the kiddos' courtyard. And putting something a little different there. The umbrella is holding its own. I got the last sunshade up. I had some problems with it. We had a huge windstorm, and it tore the ropes that I had on it, broke them. So we had to come out here in the middle of the night during a windstorm and cut the rest of them because they were all flopping around, and pull the umbrella down. But I replaced it with this paracord. So it's not moving. Everything's holding strong. It's been up there for a while now, and we've had some big windstorms. Have some cilantro in there. This week is going to be getting the rain barrels set up week. And as you can see, I've got a space kind of dug up there in the yard. So we had this tree, it's a mimosa tree that grew up in a bad spot in the front yard. Actually, it just grew right beside the shed and the cement wall, so it had to come out no matter what we did. So I'm trying to save it, but I don't know. I've got it sitting in water. It's been in water for a couple hours, and it seems a little beat up, but that I think was there before. It hasn't wilted and crashed yet. It's been in there a couple hours, so it might be okay, but I'm going to leave it in the water because I had to cut the roots, 2 of the roots, because they were growing under the cement wall. So we'll see. If it survives, it'll go in that spot over there. And we have a little valerian plant here waiting to acclimate. We just ordered that. And then I've got some tarragon and echinacea that I need to get planted. I think I'm going to put them back there against that wall back there, but I'm not sure. Hey, Miss Molly. See, Molly's smart. She's like, it's hot. Going inside. I'll see you later. Okay, guys, so there you go. That's what's happening back here. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, since I did, well, maybe, I don't know when. I did another video before I had the floor done, but then somehow when I went to load it up, I lost it. It just disappeared. So that's why there's quite a bit more done from the last video because I don't have the in-between video. Anyway, I wish you all a very quiet and peaceful day. See you soon.